shock the world and be quick. First of all, thank you. Definitely want to thank Coach Lee. All the support he gives to us in this whole program is unbelievable. We really appreciate it. Mr. Bird, Mrs. Berkey for all their continued success. Miss Moore, I wish I could say we didn't give her a lot of work this year, but we probably broke records for the amount of work we gave her this year. So thank you for all that you did. Miss Patry for reaching out to the newspaper and making sure we get all our stories in there. Mr. Henderson for all the great photos. Mr. Cochran with all the facilities, field help. And my wife and kids, as some of the other coaches have mentioned, dealt with countless mood swings, good moods, bad moods, and we're always here to support as much as they could. Really appreciate that. Want to thank our team parents. They, in my mind, are truly the best. Really appreciate all the support. I'm not going to start naming names, but they are awesome. Thank you for everything that you did. Our student assistants, Ellie, Alejandro, Liam, and Christian, really appreciate the help. And I know they're not here right now, but I'd also like to thank all the alums that helped us out down the stretch of the season. They came for the weekend, some of them, they helped us with scouting. They were ball runners for the semifinals and championship. They washed uniforms, got us bottled waters. I mean, you name it. It was really cool to see them come back and want to help out in that capacity. So we really do appreciate that. And then this team right here behind me, Mark was not able to help out quite as much this year because he recently had a baby, his second child. But he was here as much as he could be. And of course, Coach Ross, those two and I have been a team for a long time now, and I could not do this without them, and I so appreciate them. And then we also added alum Emily Dale this year, who was a welcome addition. The girls love and respect her, and a little bit of history was made this year. Emily became the first person in Highland history to win a state championship as a player and as a full-time member of the coaching staff at Highland. Coming into this year, we definitely had a lot of uncertainty. We saw some pretty special players and people walk out the door last year, and we had to figure out where a lot of pieces were going to go this year. We had some new leaders step up, and I will get to them shortly. But I think our goal was to take it day by day, just get better every day, not focus on the end result, just focus on the next day. And these girls really did do that. They battled every single day. They got better every day. They overcame so much adversity. As I said, we definitely got the injury bug. Also just had some other things go wrong at inopportune times. But they always picked up the pieces and they always moved forward. And nothing ever really changed. Their performance never changed despite the circumstances. I was really proud of them for that. Probably the biggest reason for that is this is definitely one of the toughest and closest groups I have ever coached. They genuinely supported each other. They genuinely cared about each other in the truest sense. And for a coach, that is as good as it gets, regardless of the results. The wins, the championships, they are awesome. I'm not going to lie, but that is the most important thing, to know that your team has that bond and they enjoy the experience and they enjoy each other, and that is as good as it gets. They were always happy to win, and they were always happy to move on in the tournament, but I don't think they were ever completely satisfied with how they played. They always thought they could play better. I think an example of that was after our state semifinal win. They were all sitting there like they were upset, they were mad, long faces, because they just didn't think they had played great that game, and I kind of had to be the one to say, guys, going to the finals, that's pretty good. Let's get excited here. But I think that's just an example of how driven they were to be the best that they could be. So as much as I wanted them to be excited, I appreciated that. And then finally, obviously, broke out in the finals after so many tough battles throughout the year. It was awesome to see them just go up early in that state championship game and never look back. It was such a team effort. I didn't expect it. I don't think anybody did. I don't think they did. But I knew they were good enough to go win it, and boy, did they do it in style. So obviously, extremely proud of that. Some impressive stats. This one blows my mind. In 17 games played, we allowed 5 goals. The next best defensive team in the state were our good friends, Seton. They allowed 18 goals in 17 games. That was the next best defensive team in the entire state. 5 goals in 17 games is just absolutely ridiculous. And we actually played, of our 17 games, 13 of those were against D1 or D2 state tournament teams. And we actually went 14-0 against Division II teams. So it was truly a remarkable year, especially considering all the circumstances. Quickly, I do want to mention our All-DAC and All-State players. Second team All-DAC, we had Mackenzie Cochran, Rossi Long, and Mallory McReynolds. First team, we had Jess Cochran, Molly Petroncio, and Carolyn Trudy. And All-State, which finally just came out today. Second team All-State, Mackenzie Cochran. First team All-State, Jess Cochran and Molly Petroncio. And for the second time, State Player of the Year, Carolyn Trudy. Before I get to our awards, I just wanted to take a second to mention one of our seniors, Buckley Norman. She unfortunately was not able to play the last few weeks because of some pretty serious injury issues that she played through. She's been playing through for years. She played through pain and would have continued to play through pain, but obviously had to stop, and for good reason. And was always a quiet leader for this program. She was more vocal this year, actually, and it was great to hear. But she had an outstanding career, and I'm so sorry for her that she did not get to play down the stretch, but she was still an inspiration to this group, regardless, was there every step of the way, and the girls all appreciated her toughness. So, Buckley, awesome job. And now on to our awards. The first award I'm going to give today, oh wait, did you want to give us 4 awards? Okay, all right. I'm going to get to the awards, sorry. Defensive MVP. I spoke earlier about the fact that our team allowed 5 goals in 17 games. Well, there's one person, the buck stops with this person. 5 goals in 17 games gives our goalkeeper a .29 goals allowed per game average. She made very tough saves look routine on a regular basis. She was a vocal leader. Sometimes I felt bad because I didn't feel like we had as much to talk about with her. We were talking about things we can do better, game plan, everything else, because I didn't know what to say half the time. Like, I knew that she knew what she was doing, and she was going to be ready to go, and she was all season long. And thank goodness we have her back one more year. Defensive MVP, Jess Cochran. All right, our second award is going to be our offensive MVP. This young lady had never played up top, at least for us, until we went on our spring break trip to Charleston. And we were just having trouble being dangerous. And long story as to how it happened, but she ended up top, and she was dangerous, really dangerous. And From that point forward, she never went back to the back line again. Well, maybe a couple times. But she played in 14 games from that point on and scored 18 goals in those 14 games. Was just a complete menace to opponents. Worked like crazy. She had a huge play in our semifinal game, which was the difference to get to a goal and that actually just punted. But she got to it and finished it off in style. And what I was most proud of her about is we had a talk before we left for the semifinals about the fact that, you know, when she had started playing forward earlier in the year, things were coming a little bit easier for her because she kind of took everybody off guard. But now she was a big part of the other team scouting report, and she had to deal with that in a mature manner and understand that maybe it wouldn't be her that was doing it all, and maybe she would create space for others and create opportunities for others. And I don't think there's a better example of that than what happened in the state championship game. So I was really, really proud of her maturity to handle that and for her to get her chance to play in the attack and run with it. Offensive MVP, Molly Petronski. All right, our final award is going to be the Coach's Award. So kind of the opposite story. This young lady had been accustomed to playing up top. Her sophomore and junior year, she combined to score 43 goals, I think. Like I said, was a state player of the year as a forward in 2016. And this year, we needed her to go to the middle of the field and play more of a defensive center midfielder and do more grunt work and be a leader all over the place. And without hesitation, without one complaint, she did it with a smile on her face. And she impacted this team in ways that I never could have imagined, to be honest. And the maturity that she showed from last year to this year was unbelievable. Last year did not end with a storybook ending. It was a tough ending to the year. And she came back with a different mentality and was a huge, huge, huge reason for this team's success. And definitely remembered how to put the ball in the back of the net when she needed to, especially in some key games down the stretch. So proud of her. Coach's Award, Carolyn Trudy.
I know assistants don't usually talk, and I'm pretty sure there's a rule against it, but I think the only reason Coach Leek let me is because the only way I could talk is if he spoke under 10, but very close. First of all, I could not be prouder to be up here in front of all of you. Proud to have coached these girls, proud to have coached alongside these guys. I'm proud to have graduated from this school. I honestly never could have predicted that I'd be back at Highline teaching and coaching, but I really am so glad that my path led me here. Last time I spoke up here was as a senior at the Spring Sports Awards ceremony exactly 10 years ago. Just a few weeks ago, Reynolds had mentioned, as he had mentioned before up here, the fact that if we won states this year, I'd be the first Highline alumni to win a state title as a player and a coach. I've got to be honest. I didn't and still don't think it's more than just a cool fact. This group of girls are state champions because they faced adversity with both tenacity and grace. They did that. Coaches do their best to establish connections with each player, identify areas of growth, and do their best to help the team improve them in practice and in games. With this team, though, the girls figured out how to turn their weaknesses into strength and keep strengthening all other aspects of their game. You guys adapted. You guys overcame. You guys powered through with few, if any, subs. Constant position and formation changes, countless injuries, etc. Their persistence and heart is what took us to the championship. You can't really coach that stuff. Definitely not in a few months. That has to do with who these girls are. So, the most important thing I want to share is this. These girls are solid athletes, strong students, great soccer players, but above all, and what really matters, is they're really good people. That is why I'm most proud of them, and why I'm incredibly thankful to even be a small part of their lives. Ladies, I can't tell you how much it meant to me that you wore my high school jersey number 22, taped to your wrist during the state semis and finals, because I couldn't be there. Losing my grandma wasn't easy, and I sure would have preferred a soccer game over a funeral. But while I was in Florida, you guys made me feel so loved and supported when I needed it most. Coaches and parents too. I'll never, ever forget that. Team, I love you all. And seniors, I know you're going to do big things in college and beyond, and I look forward to hearing all about it.
Okay, so I know Reynolds thanked Ms. Moore already, but I just want to say thank you again. I think at some point we had about half the team, maybe more than that, in your room at one time. So thanks for keeping us together, we really needed it. Yeah, so Buckley, even though you left us halfway through the season, we could always count on you to be that back post run. We knew that no matter how much pain you were in, that you'd give 100%. Madison, you're a great player, and all I want for next year is for you to recognize that completely. I've never seen you actually stretch before a game, and you can always deal out some pretty great passes. Sammy, you stepped up big time from the role you played last year, and you were one of the feistiest midfielders out there. Hope you can keep that up when I'm not pregame pumping you up. Sam, thank you so much for joining this year. I think you were the difference in having subs and no subs, and playing up top with me. I already know you're going to be even more of a power player next year. Hallie, maid of honor, you're a shining ray of sunlight on our team, and whether on the field or on the sideline, you're the one I look to keep playing hard. Mallory, when you weren't getting yellow cards, you seriously stepped up and you were an incredible attacking midfielder. From playing incredible balls to shutting down other girls, I was really impressed with what you did this season. And Caroline, thank God you finally came back. Thank you for not giving up on us or yourself. You're an amazing player and a rock in the midfield with a foot to boot. All right, Mr. Ross, I have no idea how all your toes aren't broken from toboing the ball. Even though you know nothing about soccer, you inspired us all to play harder. As I was saying, you inspired all of us to play harder and give more than we thought we had, and I don't know what I'm going to do without you. Emily, thank you for joining us this year. Whether it was you or Chemily on the sideline, your energy transferred over to all the girls on the field, and I'm so proud that we were able to win states with your number on our arm. And I'm honestly so proud of all the girls, and thank you guys for letting me be a part of this journey that really made my senior year special. You guys are my family, and I'm going to miss you so much.
So I have the honor of talking about our defense. Jess, our leader in goal, was nearly flawless. She only had 5 goals scored against her this whole season. A remarkable accomplishment for a goalie, and she definitely was the best keeper in the DAC in state. Jess definitely stepped it up this year and became our strong vocal leader who directed all of us on the field. I can still hear her yelling, "Push up," in my sleep. Jess plans to play at Lynchburg after Highland, and I know she'll be an immediate impact to the team. It's been a pleasure playing with you, and I know you continue to be a tremendous leader for Highland next year. Our outside defenders, Shannon and Bevan, were our speedy midfield wings last year. However, this year we asked to use their speed and skill back in the defense. Their speed, talent, and sheer heart saved us numerous times. Bevan's efforts to step up against any opponent proved how courageous she was on the field. Her sniper left foot was one of our key weapons on corner kicks, as she simply placed them perfectly in front of the net. Shannon is a player who plays with great composure and grace. She made any hard situation on the field look easy. Shannon definitely was a force to be reckoned with, and all opponents will remember number 3, and so will those on the sidelines. When Reynolds and Ronnie yelled, "Clear it out," Shannon did exactly as told and cleared the ball with such great force. These 2 girls are my rocks, and I'm so impressed by their willingness to give it their all. Alexis, our 8th grader, played all over the field for us, mainly midfield and defensive wing, and even when she was called upon to man mark an opponent. Alexis's heart, and I got this attitude, was impressive. She was a huge impact for her team as she didn't join us until we played Wakefield toward the end of our season. She literally showed up that day to play. I don't think she knew many of our names. Alexis' greatest moment was when she scored the first goal in the state championship game. The look of total shock on her face was priceless, and a memory none of us will ever forget. I'm so proud of you, Alexis, and so glad you decided to come out and play with us. Mackenzie, my backbone, who literally played right behind me, is fierce. She's definitely far more than what you see. This 9th grader, skinny to the bone, tall as a tower, is very deceptive. She took on being the center defender position like it was a piece of cake. Kenzie was a warrior on the field who easily played multiple positions. She was simply a pleasure to watch as she played with speed, hunger, and passion. Her numerous headers all over the field got us out of potential dangerous numerous times and were quite impressive. I couldn't be more proud of you as a player and more importantly as a friend. And last but not least, my sissy Rossi. Rossi was my right-hand man, my left-hand man, and well actually my all-around hand man. Rossi literally did everything all over the soccer field. She was a huge heart, and you can tell by her laughing, contagious smile that she's a kind-hearted person. But on the field, she's a hunt-me-down, tongue-out kind of player who never ever gives up. I would ask her at least 10 times every game, "Are you okay? Do you need a rest?" She just put on her strong poker face and kept giving her all 100% of the time. I'm gonna miss playing with my soccer sister, but I leave confidently knowing you'll hold down the middle effortlessly next year. Mark. When I met Mark 5 years ago, no tears, okay. I would never realize how much he'd be a part of my life. Besides being a coach, he's been a mentor for me. He's my neighbor. I love his family. He's my family. He's the coach that you went to when you just needed to talk. He's very knowledgeable with soccer, and when Mark speaks, all eyes and ears go directly toward him because his words have a great impact. Although Mark was unable to be with us a lot this whole season due to the birth of his son, his presence was always felt. When we needed strength, WWMD would come to my mind. What would Mark do? His continual words of encouragement was embedded in our minds. Thank you, Mark, for your wisdom, for your belief in this team, and for all your contribution to girls soccer. You have been a great asset to this team, and I cannot thank you enough for all you've done. Lastly, Reynolds. This is it. The last training to play soccer here at Highland for you. 5 years ago, I had a dream that I wanted to play on the girls varsity soccer team. I emphasize the because as an 8th grader, you are in awe of playing on a high school team with the seniors. Well, my dream did come true, but I now realize that what is more important was having the opportunity to be coached by you. Reynolds plays a lot of roles as well. A coach, a teacher, a motivator, and a dad, not just to James and Noah, but to all of us as well. After last year's semifinals loss, Reynolds led his team with heart and determination. His passion, talent, and hard work drove this team. He led us to just think one day at a time, to push ourselves harder to get better, and to work together as one unit, one team. And that is this team. A united team that worked together as one, all because of you. Winning states this year is tremendous, as we had a lot of odds against us. You reminded us of the past and got us pumped for the future. In our present, we fought like hell, and in the end, we became the state champs. From your creative mind, you adjusted our positions, and miraculously it worked, and we saved our best game for last. Thank you so much, Reynolds, for all that you've done. When we look back at our high school years, we and I will remember the best and most deserved coach of the year, Reynolds.